America likes to believe its wealth was earned openly, through innovation, through risk, through hard work. But the truth is quieter. Power in America was not announced, it was inherited. And before it was inherited, it was protected. This story is not about a hotel. It is about how power behaves when it feels threatened, and how even the richest families eventually lose control of the future. In the early years of the United States, wealth had no uniform. There were no billionaires, no skyscrapers, no institutions old enough to command respect on name alone. Money moved through ports, through land deeds, through silence. And one man understood this before almost anyone else. John Jacob Astor arrived in New York in 1784. The city was not yet a capital of finance. It was unfinished, unstable, open. Astor did not try to change it. He studied it. He watched how fur moved west, how immigrants arrived with nothing but needed somewhere to sleep, how land quietly increased in value while people argued about politics. He invested where others hesitated. Fur made him rich. Land made him permanent. Astor bought Manhattan when it still looked rural, fields instead of avenues, paths instead of streets. He understood a simple rule: people move, land does not. By the time New York realized what was happening, Astor owned so much of it that selling became unnecessary. Rent replaced risk, waiting replaced effort. When he died in 1848, he was the richest man in America. But wealth was not his greatest achievement. Structure was. He left behind a system that generated money quietly, automatically, and invisibly, while protecting the family from scrutiny. That system passed intact to his heirs. The Astors did not need attention. They needed distance. Their buildings housed thousands of people they would never meet. Tenants paid. The family remained unseen. Power works best when it is abstract. By the mid-1800s, the Astors were not simply wealthy, they were unavoidable. And yet the greatest threat to dynasties has never been outsiders. It has always been inheritance. William Backhouse Astor inherited the empire and did exactly what heirs are trained to do. Nothing bold, nothing imaginative. He maintained. Buildings aged, tenants suffered, money flowed uninterrupted. When he died, the estate fractured. 2 sons, 2 futures. John Jacob Astor III inherited control. William Waldorf Astor inherited wealth. That distinction would destroy everything, because wealth can be counted, control cannot. At the center of New York society stood Caroline Schermerhorn Astor, Mrs. Astor. She held no office, signed no laws, commanded no armies, yet she ruled. In an era where women were denied formal authority, Mrs. Astor perfected informal domination. New York society operated like a government. Its currency was invitation, its punishment was exclusion, and Mrs. Astor decided who mattered. Her annual ball was not entertainment, it was certification. Attendance confirmed legitimacy, absence destroyed reputations. With Ward McAllister, she reduced New York society to a list, 400 names, enough to fill her ballroom, not one more. If you were not included, your wealth did not count yet. Men worth millions waited years for approval. Women trained relentlessly in etiquette, knowing a single mistake could cost their family everything. Mrs. Astor believed she was protecting society from vulgarity. She was actually protecting control. William Waldorf Astor did not accept this system. He rejected it. He believed Mrs. Astor's power was artificial, a performance mistaken for permanence. And worse, she claimed the title Mrs. Astor as if it belonged only to her. His wife had equal claim. That insult was not symbolic, it was existential. He did not argue, he planned. Fifth Avenue was sacred ground, residential, controlled, predictable. William Waldorf Astor looked at his mansion and saw something Mrs. Astor could not imagine, a weapon. In 1890, he announced that his mansion would be demolished, in its place, a hotel. Not downtown, not discreet, on Fifth Avenue, a violation of everything old money depended on. Strangers would arrive daily, money would replace lineage, access would become transactional. Nothing destabilizes aristocracy faster than commerce. Mrs. Astor believed it would fail. Hotels served travelers, not families of standing. She underestimated inevitability. Construction began. Noise replaced silence. Dust settled on her garden. Scaffolding rose beside her windows. And beneath the luxury, men died. Immigrant laborers worked without protection. Falls were common. Deaths were unrecorded. Bodies removed. Tools picked up. Schedules maintained. Luxury is never built by those who enjoy it. By 1893, the Waldorf Hotel opened, magnificent, defiant. Mrs. Astor moved uptown, officially for comfort, in reality, retreat. William Waldorf Astor left New York soon after. He believed he had won. He was wrong, because revenge invites escalation. John Jacob Astor IV responded the only way dynasties know how, by building something larger. The Astoria rose next door, taller, more modern, more aggressive. Two halves of the same family stood side by side, refusing to yield. The solution was not peace, it was containment. A narrow corridor connected them, Peacock Alley, just wide enough to pass, just tight enough to be seen. It became the stage for New York society. People did not walk there to go somewhere, they walked to be observed. Mrs. Astor returned not as ruler but as participant. Commerce had replaced lineage. The public saw unity, the family felt fracture. By the early 1900s, belief began to shift. New money arrived without patience for old rules. Steel, railroads, oil. Prestige weakened. John Jacob Astor IV tried to redefine the name. He invested, invented, wrote novels. But society judged him not for his ideas, for his marriage. He divorced, then married an 18-year-old. Scandal followed. The Astors had policed morality. Now they violated it. Astor left New York and chose the most famous ship in the world to return, the Titanic. On April 14, 1912, the ocean disagreed. Astor helped his pregnant wife into a lifeboat, then stepped back. He did not survive. The richest passenger on the ship, dead like everyone else. The Waldorf Astoria remained, but its meaning changed. It was no longer a battlefield, it was a monument, and monuments age. By the 1920s, the land beneath it became more valuable than the building itself. Railroads wanted it. Progress demanded sacrifice. In 1929, the original Waldorf Astoria was demolished, quietly, stone by stone. Peacock Alley disappeared first. Above it rose the Empire State Building, faster, taller, colder. The Waldorf Astoria moved north, bigger, more modern, less personal. The Astor name remained, but names are not power, they are memory. What this story reveals is simple. Wealth builds monuments, power builds systems. Systems outlive monuments, and nothing built to look permanent ever is.